Okay, so it seems that Comic Cons are starting back up, and we have one here in the upstate New York area. It's the Mid-Hudson Comic Con, and we have the president, Samuel Chase, here to talk today about this one. He also runs the one up in Saratoga, so um, we'll find out about, the one down in the Mid-Hudson, Poughkeepsie area, and then we'll talk to him more about whatever comes up.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
How's it going?
It's all right. It's all right.
So, uh, um, did what was your first experience with comics? Did the comics come first, or did you know the cons? How? Because everybody has a different story, and so I'm interested to hear yours.
Sure. I mean, some people do the cons, for the love of the con or for, there's this and that, like or just to make money. And that's okay too. And I want to do a little statement here that it's okay to make money at Comic Cons. So for me, like my job really is I am a convention like organizer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess if you were to give me a job title, so I can run Comic Cons, beer fest, whatever I want to do, and we are moving out into different directions. So, but like what got me started with the Comic Con thing is when I was younger. So I guess for the first comic I've ever had, it was probably I think it was X-Men, and I remember I really liked the X-Men cartoon show, so my mom got me some X-Men comics, and then that led on to, getting Spider-Man, getting all the random comics. But as a kid, you don't kind of realize that you need to collect them, every month. So you like have issues missing, and it kind of, I never liked that part of it with the story because I was be so young and be like, oh man, where can you go find them? You had to go to a special comic book store, and and my heyday, really, I'm almost 40 now, and there were just a few comic book stores that you had to go to, and not all of them carried the older comics. Back then, a lot of them were carrying a lot of newer comics, like
Mm-hmm.
all the ones that were kind of coming out. So it was a much different experience back then. But anyway, so comics, my favorite one's probably G.I. Joe comics. I actually went back and recollected a bunch of those. So, but as for like how that led up to Comic Con and why people get into Comic Con and all that and all of that pop culture kind of experience is I was doing first of all, when I was younger, I liked to draw and didn't really go anywhere. And then I didn't really know where to go with it. I took art classes, all that kind of stuff, and then I went on to doing basically I really liked film. I liked television, so I bought a camera and we were recording things. And I was going to record some stuff and make a YouTube show. So how that ended up, what there were some other people that were doing stuff that were similar, and they were setting up and selling their stuff at something called Comic Con. So I didn't really know about Comic Con at the time because there weren't really any up in my area around. There was like one or two, but you really didn't know what they were. So so then when I realized that they were selling their stuff there, so I said, well, what I'll do is I'll start selling my stuff there. So we took the show, we got T-shirts, we got everything, and of course nobody really bought much because of the fact that no one knew what our show was. You had to go home and like watch it, and then come, and try and figure it out. If you wanted some of the merchandise. So there was, it really wasn't the biggest sell. So we had an idea, me and another guy. Well, why don't we take my show and take your autism awareness, and we'll combine them together, and we'll like present a Comic-Con. We'll just do a small show. So push comes to shove, he backed out on me after like 5 months of me researching, and so I wasn't gonna end up doing it. I was like, well, I don't really want to do this. So and then I don't know, something inside of me was just like, be a doer, not a don'ter
Mm-hmm.
about things in life. And so I know it's like a motivational speech, but I really ended up, realizing that, like, I just have to step forward in this. So I did. And I set the show up for like a year and a quarter, and I was promoting it for like all the way up until 2015. It was just a 1-day event, and I got the paycheck for it. And then it turned out really well, and the city center loved it. So they said, we want to do another one. When do you want to do it? And I said, well, maybe I'll do one in 6 months. So that's how Saratoga led on to be doing the show twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that we kind of haven't stopped. I mean, besides, those situations that we're in right now. So we did a few other ones. We did Plattsburgh Comic Con, and we're doing a couple new ones, one in Vermont and one in another place I can't mention yet, just due to contract.
Sure.
But yeah, and now we're doing the Mid-Hudson Comic Con, and that's how it started. That's I quit my job and I became really a convention organizer, and that's how I do what I do, and that's
Yeah.
how Saratoga Comic Con is the #1 con in upstate New York. So it's it took a lot of work and a lot of effort,
Mm-hmm.
and it does every single show.
So let's talk about the Mid-Hudson show.
Mhm.
First year for it?
Yes, it was supposed to be last year,
Why
but
didn't you
not.
have it? I
My
mean,
question.
everything was perfect. Everything was perfectly normal.
It was really sad because, like, when COVID had come out, we thought it was going to end in June.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was selling vendor tables, and we're and then now here we are with a bunch of new stuff, which I don't really want to get into too much.
Sure.
It is a little bit of a painful experience, because you're trying to do something that you love. You're trying to do
Right.
something that is your job, and there's so many other people involved. Like, like I have 90 people underneath me that or like 90 to 100 people underneath me that rely on me for their
Right.
income, which is like, and people don't get
Yeah.
that. And also, that's just inside the show.
Uh,
That's not including outside the show. So
and I wasn't trying to make light of it. I was just,
no, I know.
I,
I get the joke. It's not offensive. I'm not offended.
I know it's. I kind of looking back on it. I guess it's different looking back. But so let's talk about the show
It's
that.
fine. So
So
let's talk about this show.
yeah, what I don't know. What do you want? I mean, what do you think is the draw that for the show being its first year? What have you kind of tried to, I guess, market to get people to attend?
Well, it's a big wrestling community, so we brought in a couple wrestlers. We're trying out the voice acting community down there, so seeing if that's going to be big. And then we brought in Philo Barnhart, all the way out from Chicago, Illinois, and he, has worked on things like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Secret of Nim, all these, classic movies that are
Mm-hmm.
just iconic. And he was part of the key. For some of them, he was the key illustrator. So
Cool.
he worked a lot with Disney, and that's a really big deal that we have him there. So plus we have all our wonderful vendors
Mm-hmm.
that are just so unique. I mean, because we have people doing pops, we got people selling whether it's chocolates, or whether it's cosplay guest stars selling things, raising money. We have tabletop gaming by Medusa Gaming. So it's I mean, there's a lot that's happening at the show. So
There we go. A little logo for you.
yeah, wondering what was happening. I was like, oh no, here we go. I was like, yeah,
So,
did I disappear?
um, I know that you have some comic book artists coming. I'm good friends with Charles Barnett and Dave Ryan.
Hmm.
Talked to them both before. Who else do you have coming?
Ooh, man. Well, I got to pull up my guest list. I don't want to get any names wrong, like that's my
No, I
problem.
understand.
So it's like, I have like Andrew, I believe it's Parquet, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because I think it's French.
Don't worry.
So
Names get pronounced wrong all the time here.
yeah, I got Jay Moores. I've got a few others coming. Philo is one of them.
Mhm.
So and then there's we also have local vendor or
Right.
local artists coming too as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And there's definitely a lot of local artists, that I'm sure after last year are looking to, you know, get out there and
Hmm.
see people and try to, you know,
Yeah.
reestablish, the relationship that they had. And, your show is going to help people do that.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's and also just build up the community, back to where it should be, after the pandemic and everything. So we're really just trying to make the best of it. So
Mhm.
you try not
Now,
to watch what you're doing on the screen.
sorry.
I'm like scrolling with you.
So, kind of, talking about that, what guidelines does the show have to? I would assume you're following like CDC/New
CD,
York.
correct.
Yeah.
So you basically at the bottom of the page, not the bottom of the page, it's like the link at the bottom of our page. I suggest reading that because keep updated with it because you never know. They might be doing some other mandates, within this week. I don't think
Hmm.
they will, but as of right now, it's please be vaccinated. If wear your mask. Even if vaccinated, that is not a it's the CDC rule. It's not
Right.
it's recommended, but it is
Yes.
not enforced. But people that are not vaccinated, you must wear your mask. So
Now,
that
are
is
you are
the way that it
you?
goes.
I hope this isn't too. Are you requiring proof, or are you just? Is it you going with the honor system? I guess.
No, I mean we're gonna have some basically it's the same thing. It's the CDC rules. So
Okay.
it's just like Walmart, just like if you're walking into a Target, same thing.
Okay. No, I'm just. I just want to make
Mhm.
clear because I'm because I have a young. I have my son is young, so he's not vaccinated. So
Sure.
uh, we're still playing live in a bubble.
Right. No, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, definitely with that one. So,
So uh, I see there's going to be a cosplay contest. You want to talk a little bit about that? What do you,
yeah,
is there a prize for the
there's a $200 prize. So, anyways, for the adult cosplay contest, which is held on Saturday, there is a $200 prize plus a trophy, and then for best in show, it's $100 prize. And then there's some other trophies and certificates. So we're
Mhm.
looking forward for people to come and visit that. Then for the children's cosplay contest, it is trophies and certificates, which is
Nice.
Sunday. So at 2:30, I believe.
And what I see you're also going to be having some panels. Would you care to talk about what attendees will have be able to go to?
Yep. So we have both Saturday and Sunday. Well, Saturday is going to be like like a fencing classes, but they're not done with real swords. Where they're teaching how to fence,
Hmm.
which is really neat. It's actually a big inner city thing. No, it's everywhere. But then there's a Star Wars themed cos fight. They teach you the same thing. Basically, that's going to be on Sunday. So make sure that you're checking out the panel page on that. There's a few other panels. There's a panel Q&A with Sarah Nato Cheney. So make sure to check that out. There's a wrestling panel as well, and there's a sketch off panel where they go at it with different they like sketch different
Yeah.
things and all that. Then there is a there's like a movie one where they discuss movies, so that's very, yeah, it's fun.
No, sounds like you have a lot of different things for people to
Yeah.
take part in at the show.
Yep. Yep. On the admission.
Well, will we be seeing the Saratoga show come back soon, or?
Yeah. I mean, as of right now, everything's a go, but as of
It's
we
ever
don't.
changing.
Yeah, it's really difficult right now to put your finger on it because it's,
Mhm.
oh man, it's just it's not really. I'm not saying it's not happening. It's just I'm saying that I don't know what the weekend after is going to bring,
Right,
or
right,
2 weeks after, or a month after. I
sure,
have
and
no
I
idea.
and I understand how hard that is for you to have to take into account because you don't want to create an unsafe atmosphere for your attendees.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, our like safety is number one concern.
Yeah.
So, and I always encourage people. I like to say something that I don't like, which is just personally outside of the Comic Con world. I see people going to Walmart and Target, and they're just grabbing a hold of the carts, and they're not grabbing the disinfectant rag to wipe it, the handles down. It's like, guys, stop. Like, really, like,
Yeah.
health, just besides COVID, other germs, other diseases
Right.
on those things. So, I mean, it really is important to really, always be, wiping your hands down, try to grab the door with your shirt, try and, do things that, will keep people safe, which is, very important,
and
at shows
and even
and anywhere, Walmart,
yeah.
everything.
Well,
So
even before the whole year and a half, past year and a half, cons have always been. I don't think I've. There's only been a few that I've come back from, you know, feeling tip top shape anyway.
yeah. I mean,
But I
sometimes you
think
don't
but
feel
I think
too
it's just
good.
the nature of the beast. I mean,
Hmm.
you can only just you can only do so much, and it looks like you're taking you know the best the best guidelines you can forward to ensure safety for those people that want to get out, and that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, if you look at it, people are still going out. I mean, there's people all over the streets now. There's people walking in parks. Everybody's at Walmart. Every thousands. Everybody's at Target, and they were before during the pandemic. But you still gotta keep it safe, and our show is no different. And
Hmm.
people fearing, or people being like, oh no, like what's the show's unsafe. It's like, well, did you go to Walmart? Did you grab the got handle when you pumped your car?
Hmm.
I mean, there's a, like, did you disinfect your hand after? I mean, it's you got to be careful with this thing. So
Oh,
it's, you really do.
oh, I understand, and sorry for uh, maybe steering the the discussion towards.
No. It's a discussion that needs to be spoken about. It's a discussion of what's going to happen at the show. Well,
Mhm.
keep safe.
Yep.
It's going to happen at the show. Same thing as you would at Walmart or your school or anywhere else. Keep
So
safe.
what are the where can what how much are tickets? Where can people get tickets?
Well, people can call the box office, or they can go to our website and they can see all the information right there. It should be right underneath the home button. It's the ticket tab, so
Mhm.
you can go there. You can actually walk up to the box office Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and you can purchase tickets. And the show will also, on the day of the show, the
Mhm.
tickets will also be sold through the box office Saturday and Sunday. There'll be somebody there at the Ticketmaster booth.
And where can people find out more information about the show? I mean, I'll excuse me, be sure to include the links to the website and social
Sure,
media, but you know
sure.
go ahead and kind of shout those out too if you'd like.
Oh, sure. So you're gonna want to go to MH, M as in Mary, and so for Mid-Hudson, MHComicCon
Hmm.
.com, and you can find out all your information is going to be there. Now you can also go to Facebook and check us out there with MH Comic Con. as well as Instagram and Twitter are the same. So you can find us and you can find all our updates. If you want the latest updates, go to the website, but we do try and keep the Facebook updated as regularly and as much as possible. So.
Well, is there anything else that maybe I did not, mention that you would like to say about the show or?
Yeah, so for Comic Con and people watching, there's always a confusing question. Do I have to cosplay? And the answer is no. Like, you don't have to cosplay. You don't have to dress up in a suit to come to the show. That's a big question, and some people avoid it, avoid the show because they think at times, I don't have a costume. It's like, you don't have to have one. You want your regular clothes.
Yeah.
Then there's the other question of, can I buy tickets at the door, cash or credit? Yes, you can. Can I buy them on the day of the show? Yes, you can. There's so many other questions out there that have not stumped me, but have made me say to myself, "Oh my goodness, wow!" There's just stuff that even I don't think about, and then when I go to a show, then I'm start thinking like, can I do this? Does this show allow that?
Well, that kind of just brought up another question in my mind. What have you learned from doing the other, the Saratoga Con that you've kind of applied to, this new show? Does that make sense?
In a small way, so like they're handling the tickets, like we're not handling them, which is different. We always handle them, so that's a different experience. So we kind of let that go. Every building holds its own challenges and its own special, thing. So, I say that with a chuckle, but probably one of the most challenging things, making sure that everybody has the electrical outlets, and then you kind of find stuff out the week of the show that, oh, this isn't going to work, that's not going to work, you can't do this, you can't do that, when we've already gone ahead and done things like that. So it's been very strenuous, at least to say, to run.
I
shows.
can imagine.
Well, it's like, I don't like to say that, everything that can go wrong goes wrong, because that's definitely not true, but you need to expect the unexpected. It's a very unexpected job of not knowing what's going to happen, especially with attendance, like how many people are going to show on up. We're hoping we can get the whole community to show on up, all the Comic-Con goers that haven't been in a couple years, that's really important,
Yes.
to go to a show. It's something that you love and you honor and you cherish so much. So, but yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck and success this weekend with the show.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can, kind of maybe work together in the future to promote your other shows.
Yeah, definitely. I would love that.
Yeah. I know, like we were talking before we came on, that we've communicated through emails in the past, but it's nice to finally get to meet you and put a face with the, I guess, the words.
Yeah, stuff I write you back through the press release. Here you go.
Yeah.
So,
but no, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk about the show, and best of luck to you this weekend. And
thank you.
We'll check back in to see how things went.
Yeah, great, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you, and stay safe, stay healthy, have a great show.
I will. You have a good one. We'll see you.